you today? Once again, we're back at the Journey Christian Church kitchen here in Apopka, Florida, and I'm Stacy Mackey, your chef for today. Today, we're doing eggs. Can you tell? You like this apron? You know I change out my apron every month. Eggs are one of my favorite foods, so I'll tell you why we're gonna do eggs in a minute. But today, we're gonna focus on a ministry called Food for Life. Food for Life has been at Journey for 15 years. I didn't even know it had been that long, but they have served over 22,000 families. And what they do is each month, we have a drive-up event. It used to be indoors pre-COVID, but now that we have a drive-up event, families get prayer, they get to connect with somebody, and they get a bag of groceries. And they get all sorts of things. They get peanut butter, canned goods, breads, pastries. Winn-Dixie, one of our local grocery stores, they donate to us. FedEx has a program called FedEx Cares. FedEx, shout out to FedEx. They have given our church over 300 grocery bags to give out. That is amazing. We love you, FedEx. Thank you for just caring about our community. So when I was talking with one of the volunteers, she said what they missed the most was when the families used to be able to come inside the building, sit down, and they would provide them with an egg casserole. She said, I really miss cooking up the egg casseroles. So I said, I got you. I'm gonna come up with an egg casserole dish that we can make and they can give out. So the egg casserole dish that we're gonna make today, we actually packaged it and we froze them and we passed them out, and we were able to bless 55 families with egg casserole dishes just a few weeks ago. So I hope you get to see some pictures of that, or you can look online. So today, I'm calling today Casserole and Crepes. We wanna sound a little fancy today. I'm feeling fancy. So let's get started. Got my pan here. I'm gonna start warming it up. And this flame is always too high. We gotta lower that flame. We just wanna warm up my pan here. Gonna add a little oil to it, a little olive oil, a little swish. With this recipe, it's a breakfast casserole. You can use whatever protein you want, but I recommend, I love chicken sausage. That's one of my favorite. When I made it for Food for Life, I used my favorite turkey bacon because it's thick and it has nice hearty pieces. So I made that one with turkey bacon, but use the protein of your choice. Today, I am using chicken sausage, but the first thing you're gonna do is cut off the casings. It's really easy. Just tear that right off. It just kind of slides out there. And then you're gonna take a potato masher. You know I'm famous for using potato mashers. And we're gonna just mash this up. Let that start cooking up. Again, use whatever your favorite meat is. You don't have to use this just because I am. All right, let me wipe my hands off with these. So next we're gonna add veggies. You know we're supposed to eat 5 servings of veggies a day. That's really hard sometimes. So who eats veggies at breakfast? Not many people. So this is a way that you can start getting your 5 veggies a day by adding veggies to your breakfast. Did you hear that beep? That means it's egg trivia time. Okay, every time I hear that beep throughout this show today, we've got to stop and I've got to give you an egg trivia. Alrighty, egg trivia. So look at this bowl of eggs I got here. You know when you're cracking eggs sometimes, you get a piece of shell down in the bowl. Did you know, let me see. Now, let me show you how I crack eggs too. I crack them with one hand. Now, but if you drop a shell in there, if you take a clean shell, scoop it in there, the shell will draw to the shell like a magnet. Little trivia for you. There you go, now our eggs are ready. I gotta wipe my hands again. That's why I got the sanitizing wipes here today. So every time I hear that bell, I gotta stop what I'm doing, give you something cute about eggs that you maybe not have known. Let's move it on. We're gonna add bell pepper to ours. Now, when you cut up a bell pepper, let me show you a way that I learned called the box method. Cut off the top, cut off the bottom, and then if you look for these little seams, where the seams are, slice one. This one is a little odd. Slice two, Slice 3, and then you got 4. And look, the rest of the little whole center comes out whole. Toss that away. Easy. All right. Let me mash. Let me break up my chicken sausage so that it'll be nice and crumbled in our casserole. And it doesn't take long to cook when it's broken up this way. You know I like things that are easy to cook and don't take a long time. There. The dicing on your bell peppers, rough chop. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be pretty. It's gonna be mixed in with the eggs. No one's really gonna see it. And plus, if you know, I like to hide veggies. If you have to hide them, chop them up really fine. You know I'm not above hiding vegetables and food. Rough chop, use that box cut method. Add them in there so that they begin to soften. And what it also does, by cooking your veggies ahead of time, even though we're gonna put it in the oven, the vegetables are gonna cook, but by sauteing them first, you're gonna remove a little bit of the water content from there. So then when you mix them with your eggs, you don't get that little extra runniness. So we're gonna chop them up now. Let them saute. Next, we're gonna add some onion. Gotta add a little flavor. Now, here is another trick on cutting onions. I've already taken off the little outer peel, but if you take your onion, slice it, just kind of roughly like that, turn it, slice the other direction, you're gonna come out with an instant dice. Now watch this. Hold your hold your onion firmly. Look at that. And then you can just cut off as much as you want to put in your casserole, save the rest for later. If you don't want to put it all in there, look at that, how easy and fast that is. And the last little extra thing we're gonna add to this is some mushrooms. I love a mushroom. And one of my favorites is the portobello. The portobellos are thick and they're meaty and they're hearty. You can have you ever had a portobello mushroom in a burger? Those are so good. So we're adding chopped up portobello. Let's get this all in my little pan here. And we're gonna just let this soften and stir. Just mix it up. Now, if you've watched any of my cooking shows, you know that I gotta add some garlic. That's one of my favorite go-to. Sometimes I love to layer garlic. I'll use minced garlic and then also use granulated. I'm a garlic girl. But if you don't like so much garlic, again, there is no right or wrong way to make this. There's no perfect mix of vegetables. You do the mix that you love. Here's my garlic. Let that stir in. We're gonna just let that simmer for a few minutes. Egg trivia time. Hear the ding. All righty, let's see. This one is about fancy gadgets. I've got some gadgets here. You ever have a problem separating eggs? This one, you drop the egg in there and then you gotta let it seep through. This is the same thing. You put the egg there and then it can go into this little container. I wanna show you how I was taught to do an egg. You break it open, you let it run through your fingers. Let it run through your fingers. Just slightly open your fingers. And the egg white just comes right out. See, it just separates the egg white perfectly. That's how I was taught. So if you don't have a fancy gadget and you gotta separate your egg whites, If you don't mind getting a little messy, use your hands. All righty, back to cooking. One more sanitizing wipe here. I bought a whole package of them today because I'm using eggs. When I'm using eggs, I don't like to touch anything else until I've cleaned my hands. So, alrighty, another egg trivia down. Let's check on this. This is simmering, softening the vegetables. We got our chicken sausage in here. I'm starting to smell the garlic already mixing with my portobellos. What I love about portobellos too is they absorb flavor. So here's a little sizzle. Now, I've got my eggs in here. I'm gonna give them a little whisk. We're gonna add a cup of milk. And I'm gonna whisk it first, but we've got some salt and pepper. Gotta always have a little flavor. I'm using some sea salt here. Let's whisk this up. Break those egg yolks up. And we are ready for this mixture. I'm gonna bake this today in like a 9x13 or so pan. Use whatever pan that you have at your house. I'm gonna spray it generously with some little olive oil cooking spray so nothing sticks. But you may adjust your cooking time depending on if you've got an 8x8 little cake pan that you use it. Cook it a little longer or less. What you wanna look for is you just wanna put a little stick in the middle just to make sure that it's cooked all the way through so you can adjust the times just a little bit. But I wanna show you a little trick that when I make this for my clients, I used to be a personal chef, and people are always looking for recipes and ways to help start their day, but they need it quick. They need to eat fast and get out of the house. So I have taken this recipe in the past and used these disposable muffin pans. You get these from the stores, even got cupcake liners in it, but these, you do this, spray it, use an ice cream scoop, take your mixture, pop it in there, put a piece of foil on the top, put it in the freezer. When you're ready, say the next morning you're saying, I'm gonna be rushing out of the house in the morning, but you only want 2. You've got 6 of them made here. You only want 2, you take a pair of scissors and you just cut off how many you want. Put them in the oven, they bake at 350 for 20 minutes, and go put them in the oven, then go in your room, go get dressed, come back, you've got your perfect little veggie, cheesy egg cup all ready to go. Super cheap, $3 at the grocery store. Really quick way. And this recipe makes almost 4 pans of these. So if you've got a family, this is a great idea. Put them in the fridge. You've got 1 for each kid. Perfect. I'm gonna spray this generously. I don't like anything to stick. And we're gonna add our cheese here. Where's my spatula? Let's look at that. See how my veggies are softening. You can look at your onions and see how they're just turning nice and opaque. That's exactly what we want. I'm gonna add some cheese. We've got 2 cups of cheese here, but I'm holding just a little bit back to put on the top for garnish. So we've got the cheese in there. I wish you could smell this. I love breakfast. Breakfast is just one of my favorite meals of the day. So I'm going to turn this off. We're gonna take this and add it to our pan. I've already got my oven preheated to 375. I'm spreading that out. I'm gonna take my egg mixture and just pour it over with the cheesy goodness. Get every egg out. Now, if you have high cholesterol, the yolks are known for being an item with cholesterol. You could easily swap out to egg whites. And in case you didn't know, if you have a tablespoon, approximately 3 tablespoons of egg white liquid is approximate to 1 large egg. So there you go. I am gonna turn around and put this in the oven so it can be baking. Egg trivia time. I heard that beep. Okay, this is a good one. Brown versus white. Look at these pretty little eggs here. That is just the biggest controversy at the stores now. Am I buying better eggs if I'm buying brown? Are white eggs old-fashioned? What's the deal with brown versus white? So when I was reading online, brown eggs come from bigger hens. And I'm like, is that it? Is that the big secret? Bigger hens? So what happens is, since they're from bigger hens, it costs more to feed them. They're hungrier little boogers. So they pass that production cost on in the price of the eggs. It costs more to feed bigger hens. So bigger hens produce brown eggs. Didn't know that. There you go. I am gonna just take a moment here and we're gonna swap out. So I'm gonna make you a little chocolate crepe for dessert. All right, got my little table here switched out. Crepes. I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding and there's a little crepe station and they're making them. You go to a French restaurant, you think that crepes are so fancy. It's one of those things that they can charge a lot of money and the ingredients are so simple. It's like creme brulee. You pay a lot for it, but it's really, really simple to make. A lot of people don't make crepes themselves because they think, that's too hard, I wouldn't be able to make it. If you can make pancakes, you can make crepes, really easy. Crepes, they're just a thin pancake, basically. Pancakes have baking powder in them that help them to rise and get the little fluffiness. Crepes are gonna be thin and crispy. And today, we're gonna make some chocolate crepes. And I'm using dark chocolate, my favorite. I love dark chocolate cocoa. You can buy the cocoa in dark chocolate. So, let's make some crepes. Now, to make crepes, you need a nice skillet. You can use any size. I'm using a smaller one today. You can use a 10-inch, and they do have specialty crepe pans that you can use too. But I think that if you just got a really good nonstick skillet and you got some kind of blender, you're off to a great start. Alrighty, we're gonna start with 2 eggs. Again, I crack eggs with one hand. When I worked at Wolfgang Puck's, we used to have to crack like 80 eggs in the morning. And I worked with a lady that she could crack eggs, both hands, with each hand, and she would crack. She was amazing at it. I'm not good with the left hand, but I can crack them with one hand. I like that. We're gonna add some milk, 3/4 cup milk, water. There's a bunch of different recipes for crepes. They're all pretty much the same, but melted butter here, and my butter is congealing a little bit here. That's all right, it's gonna get blended. That's my melted butter. We're adding just a little pinch of sugar. You can make crepes savory or sweet. That way they can be for breakfast or they can dinner. You can roll a crepe with some spinach, with some chicken, add garlic to it, and make it a savory dish. But today we're going for sweet. Now this dish, you can actually use it for breakfast or dessert. I love when you can do that. You can serve your kids this for breakfast and they're gonna think they're eating dessert for breakfast, but you inside can be knowing that you're actually getting some good stuff in them. The milk that you use, you can use an almond milk, so you're getting that little extra bit of protein. You're getting the egg, so you've got some protein in that. And then we're gonna top it with fruit. We're gonna use a Nutella sauce. You're just getting protein in your kids. They think they're eating a dessert, but they're just eating a thin pancake, basically. You can use whole wheat flour. I've just got an unbleached all-purpose flour that I'm using here today. But you can use an all wheat flour. You can use, if you're gluten-free, you can use a gluten-free flour. And you can use a non-dairy milk. You can really change this recipe up really easy. It's flexible like that. And I'm getting it on my cutting board. There we go. Got a little bit of vanilla extract. We've already added our cocoa. 15 seconds to blend. Let me get my lid on straight here. My lid doesn't want to go on straight. There it goes. Blend for about 15 seconds. Now, this is the most important step. You're gonna put this in the fridge and let it rest for a little while, because what we've done is we've got the bubbles going and it's all settled. And for the crepe, you just want it to be thin and smooth. So I'm gonna let this rest in the fridge for a little while. But, oh, you heard the beep. It's egg trivia time. Where's my cards? Here we go. Eggs come in different sizes, which, you know, when you go to the grocery store, you see the boxes says medium eggs, large eggs, extra large eggs. What's the difference? Older hens produce larger eggs. So I didn't know that. So there's no quantity or quality difference in the eggs just because they're bigger or smaller. It's the age of the hen. So you know the grandma hens? They're producing the big daddies. They've got the most wisdom. So older hens produce larger eggs. Who knew? There's your egg trivia. Okay, we've got our mix all ready together. I'm gonna start warming up my pan here. Oh, I unlocked it. Now, you don't need a high heat for crepes. And even if you go online and watch a crepe tutorial, most people will tell you they blow the first crepe. It's always the first crepe that you use your test on, and sometimes your first crepe doesn't come out right. So if that happens to you, don't stress. It happens to a lot of people. You're gonna take your pan and you're gonna butter it. I'm just using my butter stick here. Even though this is a non-stick skillet, you wanna make sure that crepe is just gonna slide its way around. Give it a little butter, warm it up, and I've got a ladle here. Now, the trick to making a crepe is all in the swirl action. Is that warming up there? We're gonna take the ladle, and I wanna watch you, you're gonna watch me swirl it, and you'll see how the batter will go around the pan, and you wanna coat the whole bottom of the pan. That's the trick. It's all in the wrist action. So here we go. And if this first one doesn't come out, it's because I told you so. Okay, I'm gonna lift the pan. I'm dropping in my batter. And see how it just kind of naturally, it's gonna start separating itself. And eventually, your pan just kind of runs out of batter when the swirling action stops. Here, can you see that? I'm trying to let the camera show you that. You're gonna let it cook. Can you zoom in on the camera a little bit? I wanna show you something. The edges start to peel up first, and they start to get crispy around the ends. We could have swirled just a little bit better on that side. But see how the edges, it's cooking already? You want that edge to start getting crispy. Watch that, how it goes. Egg trivia time. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, you know when you go to the store and there's all these new labels on eggs. These ones were raised cage-free and this and that, all the new terms that are for eggs. Well, hormone-free is an egg that, of course, I would want to buy for my family. And according to the FDA, they banned the use of hormones in the 1950s for all egg production. So technically, any egg that you buy in a local grocery store should be hormone-free, whether it says it on the label or not. So if you're paying extra because this brand has hormone-free on the label, all eggs should be hormone-free if they're treating their hens like the FDA says they should. I didn't know that. That's really good information. All right, ooh, look at that now. Okay, gonna grab a spatula here. Look at that, see? See if we can just get that little edge to come up. See how it's just sliding in the pan there? Woo, let me see if I can grab the end here. I'm gonna grab it, flip it, look at that. One chocolate Look at that. And then I've got some toppings here that we're gonna try out. Got some bananas, some Nutella. Again, getting a little protein in there, getting your kids off the breakfast with a banana. That's a win. Let me cut up some banana slices here. Oh, I love bananas. Getting your potassium and your protein in. In fact, if you want to, you can take this and just roll the crepe like a banana, right around the banana. There's a couple of different ways we can roll crepes. All right, I'm gonna put this one on the plate and start another one. See, now even, look at that. I'm proud of myself. I didn't even ruin the first one. Ha ha. All righty. Let me not ruin the second one because I'm bragging on myself now, huh? All righty, watch the swirl action. Swirl it, swirl it, swirl it. Swirl it, swirl it, swirl it. Swirl, done. Swirl. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can fold crepes. You can fold it like this. Move that out of the way, you can see. Fold it in half and then fold it in a triangle. You can fold it, you can put something in the middle. Fold the ends in just like you're making a burrito or something, or you can fold it like that and fill it. Or I'm gonna take this one. Ooh. And we're gonna put a little Nutella in there. I love the combination of chocolate and peanut butter. Chocolate and peanut butter makes all people happy, I think. In my world, it does. So there's a couple of different things we can do. This one, we'll take this half a banana here and just roll it in there. Your kids will just think this is hilarious. Just roll it in there like that. The next one, we'll do it a little bit differently. Let's see how this one's coming out. Okay, let's flip it. See how they don't take long at all? And you get that little crispiness from the butter. Thin pancakes. If you can make a pancake, you can make a crepe. It just sounds good. Oh, egg trivia time, you heard it. Okay. How long do you keep eggs in the fridge? People ask me that all the time. Raw whole eggs, if you're keeping them safely in your fridge at a good temperature, because you know opening and closing your fridge changes the temperature, but if you keep them safe, you should have them for 4 to 5 weeks in your fridge. Eggs last a long time, but there's no dozen eggs that'll last that long in my house. If you're buying 36 eggs at a time, maybe those will last 4 to 5 weeks. Eggs don't last that long in my house. Woo! All right, while this one, let's see if I can get one more going. Oh, I'm on a roll, you guys. I can smell a butter browning on that one. You gotta swirl fast. It's all in the wrist action. There you go. All right, this one, I'm gonna add some more Nutella, but I'm gonna put the dice, look at that one, the Nutella didn't make it to the plate. This one, I'm gonna add the little diced bananas in here. Have fun with this. Use your favorite fruit. Ah. I got some raspberries here. I love this. I got a little 10x sugar. Can you make that at home? I wish you could smell the chocolate and the hazelnut together. So good. All righty, let's grab a bite while this one's cooking. See how quick they cook? They cook fast, ladies and gentlemen. All righty. My husband always tells me I take too big of bites. I like my own cooking, I'm sorry. This and the raspberry, you can eat this for breakfast or dinner. The crepe is so soft And you get that little crispiness from the butter. I'm getting that hazelnut flavor mixed with the peanut butter. Is that the Elvis flavor? Like a peanut butter and banana together. I'm using hazelnut. You can use peanut butter. You can use almond butter. Then to top it off with that little sweet raspberry. So good. All righty. I'll roll this last one and we're going to take our breakfast casserole out of the oven and have that last. I know it's almost like we had dessert first, but we're gonna have our casserole next. Let me roll this last one. I've got some people in the background that I gotta feed here today, so. And like I said, you can add whole milk, almond milk, whatever dairy-free product that you need. Roll that up. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's take our casserole out of the oven. Now, I just baked this one a little bit earlier. Check that out. The cheese is all melted in there. The edges are all delicious. Use my spatula here. Look at that. Steam coming off it. You've got your eggs in there. You've got your sausage, bell pepper, onion, mushrooms. You got cheese, milk. You got everything you need for breakfast in there. Taste test. Ooh, it's hot too. Gotta be careful. I could eat eggs all day long. Eggs are one of my favorite foods. Now, even, a lot of people are trying to lose weight this time of the year too. Eggs are a good alternative. And sometimes I find that I want something to eat late at night, but I don't want to go to a snack. Try a boiled egg. You're getting a little pump of protein, satisfy that little hunger twinge. You've only gained about 80 calories. Try an egg. Cheesy goodness. You can make this. So, one more egg trivia. Talking about boiled eggs, did you know that you can use a pastry cutter? And I had one up here somewhere. You can use a pastry cutter to slice a boiled egg. Look at that. You can see the little grooves in that. You can use a pastry cutter to cut a boiled egg instead of trying to slice it all pretty to put it on a salad. I didn't know that. So I hope you've had a good time with me today. We made 55 of these breakfast casseroles for the families that were blessed with Food for Life. Food for Life is celebrating 15 years of blessing families at Journey. So we are trying to make this one the best year they've ever had and have the most generous food giveaways we've ever done. So keep praying for us over that mission because we're blessing communities. So if you have a family or a neighbor that you know you'd like to bless, think about using food. Food warms the soul, food warms people's hearts, and it just shows that you care. Always make food a part of your faith journey. Join me every month. If you don't get the chance to watch this on Facebook, you can watch these on YouTube. Go to journeychristian.com/cooking with Chef Stacy. You'll find all these recipes. You'll find all the past videos. I love you guys. And for the egg trivia that we didn't get to, I'll put them in the chats for you. All righty, thank you for coming today. Enjoy your eggs. I will. Bye-bye.